Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to my little shop of horrors. I think today's adventure is I'm going to try my hand at making a little draw knife. And that all came from fixing this little fella. The head's a little cockeyed, and don't pay attention to the paint. That's just to hide the rust after I soaked it overnight and it got some surface on it. But I realized when I went to go fix that handle, put a new wedge in it, stuff like that, I have rasps, but I don't have a draw knife. And a draw knife would have come in handy fixing that up instead of having to rasp it. So I figured I would take a piece of scrap and an old Collins axe handle and see if I could make myself a small draw knife so that I could remedy that situation. I'm being safe. I got eyes and ears and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it goes cutting that down. And I think I'm also, since I've got the grinder out, I'm going to take this bent piece of bed frame and lop the end of it off and lop that bent section out. That way I've got a decent piece of angle kicking around when I need it. So we'll see you in a few. See how it goes. Alright, well, looks like we've got pretty close to success. Ended up with about a 9-inch section of just some scrap steel. I'm not too worried about where I cut it off with the angle grinder, because I'm going to be using this factory edge to sharpen. And went ahead and trimmed that axe up a little bit, about 3.5-inch sections. Should make for a nice little area right in the middle we can use for a draw knife. And to practice on, I think I'm going to use this, what's left of the handle. Just turn my vise around and trim that down a little bit. Keep that one around just in case I need to make a stocky handle for my little hatchet that I keep with my chainsaw stuff. I don't use it for much as far as cutting. I usually just leave it in there so I can smack wedges into trees when I'm cutting them. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to lay these handles out, see how far I want to go in with it, and see how we're going to attach them. Probably some Gorilla Glue or some epoxy, something. Alright, well, what we ended up with so far is going to be a straight handle draw knife with about 6 inches of span for a blade in the center. I went about 1.5 inches on both sides. Took those pieces of axe handle, drilled them out somewhat, about 1.5 inches in, and I heated up this piece of steel. After I honed that out somewhat, hit it with the old Bernzomatic torch, got it cherry red, stuck it in there till it smoked all to be damned, and now we've got good holes for our handles on both sides, left and right. And after a while we'll epoxy it, but a little bit later we'll be taking it over to the bench grinder, putting a rough edge on it, and then I'll be going over that edge a little bit with a couple of bastard files, getting it down to somewhere usable. I'm betting it's probably not going to be razor sharp or anything you could shave with, but it should be enough to be a useful tool to make another useful tool later on. Well, I'm going to get at it and see how much further we can get. Alright, so that's just about the finished product. Shined it up a little bit. I ran into a bit of an issue right there when I threw it on the bench grinder to take the big bite for the edge off. Got stuck for a second, so I had to shut it down and pull it out. But she works okay. That fine edge is going to take a little bit more work until it gets to where it needs to be. I'm going to throw some Gorilla Glue into these handles and see how well that holds up overnight. If it goes together, it goes together. If it doesn't, we'll try something else. But this isn't just getting through the clear coat on the old junk axe handle there. That's actually getting down into the wood. You'd be there for quite a while trying to shape one and actually make it fit. But it'd work better than nothing. I can definitely see Why the guys that do blacksmithing and knife making, so on and so forth, why they have those big belt sanders that they take the edges on for all the knife blades and the axe blades and so on and so forth. Because if you were trying to file something, by God, you'd be there for a little while. It'd work, but it would take a while. So, I'm probably going to sign off for now, and our little shop of horrors here is going to get the lights turned off and go and get something to eat. Bye.